The I have nothing to wear problem. It seems to persist in the 21st century affluent Western societies. I keep seeing creators advising on how people deal with I have nothing to wear problem. But to be honest, I am baffled because how we put this problem, I have nothing to wear, is clearly untrue. Like, we have all the things to wear, especially that in the past 2 decades we have managed to double, or according to some sources, quadruple our fashion consumption, and we accumulate so many clothes in our closet that we don't even wear half of them. Like, we forget about them or we decide not to wear them, but the point is that they sit in our closet and we don't wear them. So clearly we have all the things to wear, so the problem is not the having part. I think it's time that we left this old phrase behind and try to find something new, a new framing of our fashion problem that's actually true and actually gives us a better starting point to solve our problems connected to our clothing. But why should we do it? Why should we care about how do we phrase our problem? Because if we frame our problem, or we say that our problem is that I have nothing to wear, then the obvious solution is to go out and buy something new or buy something more, so we have the things to wear. We solve the problem of not having anything to wear. But this is clearly an unsustainable solution, because like every time we feel we have nothing to wear, we go out and buy more things. So this not having and then buying and then not having and then buying loop is unsustainable from many perspectives. The first obvious one is the environment. Like, fashion industry is the second most polluting industry, and it takes so much resources. It devastates our environment and it creates so much waste. So that's obviously a problem that we need to do something about. And the other unsustainable aspects of this consumption loop is our mental health or mental well-being, because if we're feeling that we have nothing to wear and wanting to solve this problem by buying new things means that we spend a lot of our mental energy and time on finding things to wear. So like scrolling e-commerce websites or even just like a social media platform to find inspiration. So we have things to wear in our closet. That takes our mental capacity away from doing things that actually bring us value. Like, for example, spending time with family or friends, or pursuing a hobby or something like that. And then the third aspect is the financial aspect. So spending a lot of money on clothes is definitely not good for our budget. And apparently, even if clothes are super cheap, thanks to ultra fast fashion, it is easy to go into debt because you have the buy now, pay later option, and it makes it easy to buy things because you only have to pay like a small amount every month, but it can add up very quickly. People are going into debt because they don't realize how much they buy thanks to this buy now, pay later option. To pay for the super cheap clothes, though even super cheap clothes add up, from Shein and Amazon, Gen Zers are using Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna, PayPal, Sizzle and Zip to buy now, pay later and look hot. Research shows that this generation is spending 925% more through point of sale services now than they did in January 2020, and according to data from Afterpay, 70% of this is spent on fashion. And they are going deep into debt and making some irreversible marks on their credit scores that will haunt them for years to come. Guys, this is serious. So we have several reasons to rephrase the problem I have nothing to wear, so we can find better solutions than just going out and buying more stuff. So how do we rephrase this problem? If we have things to wear, what is the problem? And I think the problem is that we don't feel like wearing our clothes. So instead of saying I have nothing to wear, I suggest we say I don't feel like wearing my clothes. And then this gives us the opportunity to ask us why. Why don't I feel like wearing my clothes? I spent my money and mental energy to buy them. They are in my closet, but I still don't feel like wearing them. So what happened? What went wrong? And I think one obvious answer is the quickly changing trends. We are so influenced by what we see in social media, especially in TikTok. As one article puts it, the rise and acceleration of microtrends is primarily caused by TikTok and other social media platforms. The short and sweet videos of TikTok allows hyper visibility, as the scale of the platform means more possible trends, often in the forms of hauls or sponsored posts that reach more people. When more people see something, they want something, creating a micro trend. So all these micro trends that we see on social media influences how we feel about our clothes that we already have. Because if we see social media influencer or just our friends following these micro trends, we might feel behind or left out. And of course, we don't want to feel that. That's why we tend to buy into these micro trends. But it means that, for example, this week, or if we are lucky, maybe this month, the micro trend is cottagecore. So we buy the flowery dresses with the ruffles and stuff, and those are going to be in our closet. So it adds to the mass of clothes that we have. But the next week or the next month, dark academia comes in, and now everything is about like wearing all black and boots and stuff. So the clothes that we bought to follow the cottagecore micro trend are not going to fit into the dark academia, yet they are still sitting in our closet, taking up the space. And then we open the closet, we see the cottagecore dress that used to be trendy and we used to love to wear them, but today it's dark academia, and we don't feel like wearing the cottagecore because then we don't fit into the dark academia micro trend, and again we feel left out or we feel behind. So again, we go out and consume something more dark academia. So we end up feeling again we have nothing to wear, but we have the thing to wear. We just don't feel like wearing them because we are influenced by what we see around us, by what others are doing, the social influence. And the other thing that we have to mention is that fashion companies want us to feel that we have nothing to wear, because then we go to their store, we spend our money there, which they want. That's how they get their profit. So fashion companies also advertise new trends, advertise their new items, team up with social media influencers to promote this idea that buying many clothes is a good thing, it's an aspiration. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is connected to fashion companies again. So ultra fast fashion and fast fashion companies are making fashion items super cheap, super available, super accessible. So we don't even have to leave our living room or couch. We can just buy everything and anything with a click, and everything is also super cheap. So the other reason why we have this weird relationship with our clothes, that we buy them but we don't feel like wearing them, is because we make these impulse decisions. Like when we are in an e-commerce store, even in a physical store, maybe we look at something, we touch it, we try it on, and we like it, and we don't really have to think twice to purchase them because they are generally cheap. So we keep bringing these new clothes into our closet because they're cheap, they are available. But once they are in a closet, we realize that they don't match with our other items. Maybe we wear them once and realize that they are not super comfortable. So this impulsive and ad hoc kind of purchases contribute again to why we feel like we don't want to wear our clothes. Okay, so clothing thoughts or some kind of conclusion. I have nothing to wear is outdated. It's an untrue statement, and we need a better way to frame our problem so we have a better solution. Acknowledging that it's more about our relationship and feeling about our clothes gives us the opportunity to ask ourselves why, like why don't I feel like wearing clothes, and maybe stop ourselves from buying into trends, because we understand that buying into trends will always lead to the I have nothing to wear feeling, and it will lead to us spending our mental energy and time and money on buying things that we don't enjoy for a long time. So ideally asking ourselves why don't I feel like wearing my clothes will give us a pause, and it's more like building a mindset of buying clothes that we are going to feel like wearing for a long time. Easier said than done, but not being so influenced by trends and trying to follow our personal style. I'm not sure if it's like a real conclusion, but I hope this helps. So yeah, that's the video for today. I'm planning to do more videos around the consumption, so see you then.